Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Super Co-op Squad video game podcast. We are here, new little setup. We're tweaking things bit by bit. We're getting this streaming thing down. Here with Johnny Mac, my fellow host Garrett Laney.
Hello.
And Joshua Gerard.
My hair keeps growing.
Yeah, pretty soon, man, you're gonna have to cut that off. It's just gonna...
It's just gonna be cousin it.
It's gonna mold with your beard into just one super beard. Where it's just
Could you imagine? You couldn't tell seamlessly how it looks. It's just hair and beard combined.
I encourage you to look up like epic beards on Google. People do crazy. There's people who like literally make their beard into a hawk's beak. So they literally have a hawk's beak of beard coming from their face.
And that's how they cut it, where it looks like a beak.
And then of course gel and stuff. But it looks crazy. Or like people have taken their beard and made it a prison around their head. It's crazy. So cool.
That's weird.
Well, we talk about games, movies, podcasts, sometimes
beards.
Sometimes beards, yeah. It's crazy beards out there.
Because Garrett can grow one. Right?
No, we love games. Every week we sit down and talk about the latest and greatest news and video games, everything going on in pop culture. And before we hop into the content, we have our terrible spoiler of the week, which no one's ever prepared for.
Nope.
No, you guys aren't prepared for it. Me, I'm prepared.
That was because I gave you a reminder last week and you said thank you.
What do you got for us, JG?
I don't know what I got. So, you find out. I don't know.
He's looking around the garage.
I'm not looking around the garage. There's nothing to look at the garage. We blocked everything. We can't see everything. I was going to do something Batman related, but we've already done everything Batman related.
We have not.
There's plenty.
I've done everything Batman related.
That you know.
Yeah, that I know. I don't. Yeah.
It's all right.
Okay, so we're going to go into terrible spoilers, right? Okay. So...
He's struggling?
Yeah, I'm struggling. I got to think of a good one. So there's six Rocky movies, 5 that are based on Rocky, and guess what? Rocky wins in every single one of them in the end.
That's actually not true.
You just gave spoilers for like 5 movies.
And
those could have been 5 different weeks.
And also not true. He does not win in Rocky 1. He does not win in the last one, Rocky 6 or whatever.
And then it was a very terrible spoiler. Because it was wrong.
It was wrong, yeah. In Rocky 1, when he fights Apollo Creed, he loses.
But he does the whole...
Holds up the flag.
At the end of that movie, Apollo Creed tells him, like, you ain't never getting another shot. He's like, I don't want it. Like, because he pretty much whoops the champ. It's just an exhibition match. And then or maybe it was a tie. I don't remember.
So you don't even... Okay.
But he didn't win.
It's been a while since
he didn't win.
Look.
Then in the last one, when he was like he's super old and he fought... Like,
Rocky 6?
Sure.
Well,
whatever the last one is that he fought in, he lost. Like, he went to decision and he lost because he was like 58 years old fighting a champion, like at 22. I
didn't watch Rocky 6. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about.
Then you just gave a spoiler for a movie you've never watched.
I said first 5.
Okay.
I ain't hear no bell.
Even then, he lost in the first one. He did not win. But for real spoilers, guys, make sure you check our show notes. There'll be a link for that in the description as well. Or in the comments, wherever you're listening, there will be a way for you to click the show notes or go to scspodcast.com and look at the show notes there, and that way you'll be able to know what we're discussing and skip anything you don't want to know about beforehand. That's it. All right, let's get into this week. So Nintendo is chugging along.
Is this the best or is this the worst?
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Best and worst news of the week is what we started with. So worst first. Joshua, it's your week to start.
All right.
What do you got for worst news of the week?
So this is something that I want to touch up on now because we're probably not going to touch up on it on the Nintendo Direct. So they did announce their Nintendo Online Service, or NSO, as Garrett likes to say it. And they did show off some cool stuff. They showed off how you can do cloud saves because you couldn't do cloud saves on Nintendo before. But if you do not keep up your subscription with NSO, as Garrett likes to say it, you will lose your cloud save data. So if your membership expires, it looks like your cloud saves will also expire. They haven't really explained if you renew, if you'll be able to retain the information that was saved in the cloud. That part is unclear. But it doesn't look that way based on the explanation that I saw to their response on Twitter and a different website.
Yeah, that's pretty crappy.
I do want to make it clear that it doesn't fix the problem, but if you do still save on your console, that's fine. Like, that's safe, whether you're a part of NSO or not. So if you just keep your cloud save along with your local, hard drive save, or
I just
SD card save.
You sound like a PR guy for Nintendo trying to spin this negative into a positive for them.
I'm not trying to spin to a positive.
Well, you are. This is a shitty thing to do. There's no like what you just said is exactly what a PR guy would say. They'd be like, well, you're right, but as long as you have a local file, then you'll be fine just with that. So there is a workaround. No.
He's warning people that are listening.
That's negligent to say. That's negligent to say as far as like. It doesn't make the problem any easier.
That's what he prefaced with.
I'm not trying to make it look good. I'm not trying to say, oh guys, hold on, it's Nintendo now. Hold on. No, this sucks. This is extortion. Pay us to keep your thing. But if you have your save file on your Switch, you still can keep your game, your save game.
Yeah.
As far as on your Switch.
So you're thinking like do a normal local save and a cloud save in case you go to like someone else's house.
Well, that's just what I would do anyway.
I mean, sure, you could have that double protection, but you shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to.
Should do both automatically. That's
the thing about it is most likely they're gonna have a time delay. It's not gonna be okay. On Tuesday, my subscription's active. On Wednesday, I didn't pay it. They delete my stuff. It'll probably be a month or two or whatever, and they'll continue to give you options and warnings.
200 hours in Zelda gone.
Yeah. People are gonna be pretty upset. That's a good one. My worst news of the week is Henry Cavill falling off of Superman. It's like we cursed him. We just last week talked about the fact that he was Superman and like he fits that because he's a pretty boy. And then
I specifically said I didn't like Henry Cavill's Superman. So Warner Brothers, listen to me. You're welcome.
Yep. And then Johnny was like, I don't like him as an actor. I don't like him as Geralt. And he's just like, well, I guess I'm just not gonna do my main role that I'm pretty big in. I'm just going to drop acting in the movie space and go right into TV Netflix.
Garrett doesn't like me as Superman. I'm dropping out.
Yeah, I don't know. And what's funny is I don't even know if he necessarily is going to end it. Like the report hasn't come from him.
No.
Yeah.
And like I don't know if you guys are aware of that really weird like Instagram video he put out.
Yeah, I
watch
saw that.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like today was a super day or something like that.
Yeah, so pretty much, it's a super day or like a weird day, and he's wearing like a Krypton shirt essentially, and he like picks up a Superman like action figure, and like puts it back down. Like, it's stupid. It's
it was nothing. It was nothing. What I'm hearing is that this is just Warner Brothers kind of putting this out to see to get like an uproar or something like that, to get interest or hype going on or something like that.
Fake news.
I dislike that they would have to lose another Superman, especially when there's not really a guarantee they're rebooting. I do like the fact though that people are saying this is all rumors. It's just a big rumor mill. We don't know what's real, but
no one knows. Henry Cavill doesn't know.
People are saying Michael B. Jordan could potentially be up for the role of Superman. I would love that. I think he's a fantastic actor.
He's a great actor. Yeah. He's not Clark Kent. Hashtag not my Clark Kent.
Well, I mean, you don't have to do Clark Kent.
Exactly.
He could be Val Zod or one of the Black Superman.
Which I think is the only way to do that.
I actually asked about that in our Facebook group, and I was like, is there a Black Superman in the comics? And actually someone said that exact same name with a picture. And I was like, that's pretty cool. Yep. Just kind of the art of that. But yeah, it kind of sucks. But there's memes going around where it's just like Thanos snapped his fingers and Ben Affleck's Batman's gone and now Superman's gone. And
I'm hearing that Warner Brothers only has the rights to Henry Cavill's mustache, and they're just going to CGI Superman around the mustache.
That works for me. Cool. Well, that's my worst news.
All right, my worst news also came from the Nintendo Direct. Final Fantasy VIII got shafted.
Well, that's not necessarily in the Direct. That's just Square Enix's announcement.
No, that was part of the Direct.
Explain it.
So Final Fantasy VII coming to the Switch. Final Fantasy IX, 10, and 10-2 coming to the Switch. 8. Nothing. Well,
I made my comment because those games are also coming to PC and Xbox. They just didn't get the highlight because Nintendo stole that highlight.
Yeah, but the news came from
the last 4 games, and 8's not in there.
8's a good game.
I personally think 8's one of the better ones. Maybe better than 7. 7 gets a lot of hype, but
I like 8 more than 7.
I think it's in the argument can be made that
Absolutely.
8 is better than 7.
Yeah,
I played 8 to the end. I wasn't a fan by the end of the game. It wasn't as traditional as I like my RPGs to be, but I did play it and I did enjoy it. I mean, I finished it. That's saying something in that type of game.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Time
No,
to.
but I mean, like, it's just 7's a good game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying none of those games should not be there, except maybe 10-2. But 8 deserves to be there.
Like, why would you do 7, 9, 10, and 10.5, but not do 8?
There's most likely a reason in there somewhere.
Think it's rights?
I don't think so. I don't know what it could be.
Have they ever
there's something.
There's something.
Have they ever ported 8 back to like PS3 as a PS1 classic or anything like that?
Yeah, it is.
I think
Okay.
so.
It's also on the Vita.
Time to vote.
Yep.
Can't vote for mine. NSO's. This is tough because NS though that doesn't really bother me because I'm gonna have a local save anyway. But I'm also happy Henry Cavill's gone or possibly gone.
Well, then I can.
So this is all good news to me, really.
Best news of the
Joshua because it's slightly worse.
Yeah. I vote Garrett because 8 should be in there.
It's tough because I really do like Final Fantasy VIII, but I'm gonna go with Joshua and your thing with the NSO because that's a really crappy thing to do. If people can't keep their saves after, first of all, it shouldn't even be part of their membership.
Thing,
it should just be something you have as an option for your members. But whatever.
Like if you can browse the store for free, you should be able to do cloud saves for free.
Yeah, I agree to a certain extent. All right, cool. Best news of the week. What you got?
Okay, so we're gonna
Let's make these quick too.
Cool.
'Cause running
So
over.
the flip side of Garrett's, I'm super stoked that Final Fantasy VII specifically, according to the others, is coming to Switch. Because if you think back to Nintendo was supposed to have Final Fantasy VII because Sony and Nintendo were working on a console together, or they were going to do something. And then there was a big fallout between Nintendo and Sony, and then because Nintendo wanted to do cartridges, they didn't want to do discs. And then they have not received an older Final Fantasy game since then, and that was in the early 90s. Now this is the first time we're getting Final Fantasy VII specifically on any Nintendo platform. So that kind of shows that they patched things up. Nintendo is now getting more third-party support, more RPG support, especially on a classic game.
Nice. I agree, 100%. There's no question that this is a good thing.
Is this your best news as well?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
No, he's just going.
It's good.
Yours.
It's good news though.
Agree with me twice. That's rare.
It is rare actually. My best news of the week: Hollow Knight is coming to Xbox One.
I did see that.
I was super stoked for that. We've all actually just the industry in general has been kind of smitten with the Metroidvania genre. It's just been the darling this year with games like The Messenger and Dead Cells and Hollow Knight getting pushed onto Switch from PC. Just there's a lot of that goodness. Guacamelee 2.
So good.
There's a lot of that. So Hollow Knight is big for me to come to the Xbox One. I played it on Switch. I'm going to buy it again strictly to play it on Xbox One for sure.
There you go. That sounds like me and Okami.
Yeah, and then also because it comes with all the DLC included, which is not available for free on the Switch. So I'll be getting that DLC included. So that's my news.
Okay, all right. Not bad. This is my best news. And it's slightly spoilers for the new Spider-Man game. Minor. All right, it's nothing story related. So my best news, the symbiote suit for Spider-Man is not in the Spider-Man game. No. Why is that good news, you ask?
Because it's in the DLC?
No. Because there was a interview for the Game Informer magazine. I can't remember the guy's name, but one of the guys from Insomniac says that the reason why that suit is not in the game is because it's too like special. It deserves its own story. So I'm thinking that, and this is all speculation, that this could play a part in the next Spider-Man game, the symbiote and Venom, and getting the black suit.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you think that would be its own game or like its own DLC like story arc?
Definitely its own game.
I think you could do a lot with that. I don't know if it could take the entire 20 hours of content, but it could be a large portion of it. Maybe like some big hurdle he has to have, and then like getting the suit, using it, being maybe too powerful, having to make the choice, obviously in game the player will make the choice to get rid of the suit and then solve his problems without it. Like I think that'd be really good. Because you never see that arc, right? You never see that arc in a video game where guy's not powerful, gets powerful, and then gets less powerful. You just keep getting better.
Decides it's too strong.
Yeah, like you never go into the end of the game and you've lost something. You always have gotten everything you need.
Yeah.
So it would be cool to start off, get really strong, realize that this may not be the best way. It's harming me. I'm doing things I shouldn't do. Lose it, and then have to go back to your regular powers and find ways after mastering all the mechanics of beating the game.
Yeah.
That'd be super cool.
Yeah,
So,
I definitely think there's a lot you can do with it.
Beginning of Metroid in the middle of it.
Yeah, exactly.
so time to vote.
I like that spectacle news. I'm going to vote Garrett.
Wait, spectacle news?
Spectacular?
Yeah, whatever.
Spider-Man news?
Yeah, whatever.
Spectacular
I like
Spider-Man.
Okay. Yeah, the Spider-Man thing.
I was waiting for you to ask. What was yours, Joshua?
No, I remember.
Yeah, right? I'm like,
it was the same as
Spider-Man Final Fantasy.
his worst was your best, essentially. Your best was his best was your worst, so it was easier to remember.
Okay.
Cool. Well, that's
Wait, someone didn't vote?
Go ahead.
I would like to vote. I would like my voice heard.
Your vote does not matter, but go ahead.
Johnny, what was yours?
Mine was Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight. Okay. Final Fantasy is good. It's good for the Switch, and it's good for the gaming community. I'm going to have to go Joshua.
It's funny that you voted for his, but you also picked that as your worst. It's a really weird thing.
There's a specific part of it that was worse, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Made a good twist out of it.
All right, cool. Well, that's best and worst. All right, it is time for fan favorites. So every week, one of us picks 3 rapid fire questions, and each chose answers to defeat. You have to cut this. We picked 3 rapid fire questions, and each chose answers to see where we stand opposed and united in fandom. To play along, find out just where you stand in fan favorites. Garrett, it's your week.
Yeah, no.
It's not. Oh, you're right.
Come on,
These
man.
notes are messed up, then, dude.
Man, I don't know. Whatever. It's my week.
It's Joshua's week.
It's Joshua's week. So I've been wanting to do this for a little bit. It kind of stinks we cut it down, but this is something where I think with all the new games that are getting released and getting reimagined or refreshed, I want to go over some games that you think deserve a remaster,
Cool.
which is pretty much rebuilding the game from the ground up. So it's, games remastered. Pretty easy. So, number 1, any snowboarding game. Well, it could be SXX or any Cool Borders. You can remaster any one snowboarding game or any one Tony Hawk game.
Tony Hawk.
I'm going to go snowboarding game.
I'm going to go Tony Hawk. Second one, would you remaster Chrono Trigger or GoldenEye for the 64?
GoldenEye.
Chrono Trigger.
I'm going to choose Chrono Trigger. And this will be maybe a tough one for you, Johnny. Would you redo a Metal Gear Solid game or a Knights of the Old Republic game?
Knights of the Old Republic.
Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, okay. That was easy. Knights of the Old Republic.
There's no question there.
Okay.
All right, let's break these down.
Okay, so snowboarding game or Tony Hawk game? So
I'm the only one that chose snowboarding, so I figure I'll go first. Tony Hawk kind of just got a HD collection thing. Not necessarily a remaster, but I mean, it's had its comeback, so to speak. Cool Borders I really liked, SSX to a lesser extent, but those haven't gotten any kind of new generation love lately, especially Cool Borders.
I don't think we've gotten an actual snowboarding game in quite some time.
That's not true.
Steep, I guess.
There was one last year.
Didn't
yeah.
Steep get
No, it's
canceled?
out.
No,
It's got canceled on Switch.
Steep's out, bro.
Yeah, it's out. Came out last
Yeah,
year,
man.
2017.
I don't know.
Ubisoft.
I don't know.
I think there was an SSX back on the 360. That's the most recent one I can think of.
SSX3?
No, I don't know. The new one, man. SSX, man. It's just SSX.
I would like to see Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2
Yes.
get remastered. That is I think the pinnacle of Tony Hawk.
It's in my
was,
notes.
that the one with Spider-Man?
It was the one with Spider-Man
And Darth Maul?
Yeah, I think it had Darth Maul. I
One
know
of
it
the
had
versions.
it had a police officer you could play as.
Oh, yeah.
It just had a ton of little funny little extras. It felt like it was the height and probably the end as well of codes, entering a code in a game to unlock things. So yeah, man, that game was super fun.
And the music was awesome.
Tony Hawk always has great music. But do you think they'd be able to keep Spider-Man?
No.
I mean, if it's a remaster,
Well, I mean,
it's in the game. They already had the licensing.
If
so.
Lil Wayne is in Tony Hawk 5, I'm sure they can get Spider-Man in a remaster
Well,
of Tony Hawk 2.
the licensing's already there. Like if the game gets remastered, they're not going to pull him out.
I think absolutely
they
they would
could,
if they don't have the license to it.
Disney's
It's
like,
a
I don't
time-
want to do anything with Tony Hawk.
Yeah, it's a time license thing. They don't get to keep Spider-Man.
Yeah, but the game was already created. So
Back in the 90s.
Yeah, but me republishing it doesn't mean that I have to take it out. Like I'm not licensing him again. I'm just republishing something I already own. I've
No.
already made.
But if you don't have
Especially if you're
permission,
updating graphics and everything and adding new stuff. I'm sure once you touch anything else other than making it a straight out port, I think you'd have to get permission.
If someone knows the answer, please let us know because I don't think that's the case.
Yeah. Well, Tony Hawk was-
When movies get reproduced and republished and they get remastered, I don't know if you have to get your licensing agreements again. I think that you've already got the licensing for the movie. You're just selling the movie again.
Well, I think most of the time when a movie is coming out again, it's that company that's making that choice.
Not
the movie
all
again.
the time.
Not all the time.
So,
no.
for instance, like the big issue with Marvel and Hulk and several other properties is the fact that it's not that Disney can't make a Hulk movie. It's that was it Universal?
Yeah.
They own the distribution rights. That's all the issue is.
Okay.
Which means they make all the money on anything that's made on the DVDs and the Blu-rays and the streaming and the Netflix stuff, not Disney.
Okay.
That's why they will not make a Hulk movie. It's not that Universal has the right to make a Hulk film. They don't have to do that.
Okay.
So that's what I mean. So like right now with the Hulk movie that's already been made, Universal doesn't have to ask Disney for the rights back. They just distribute the movie.
Fair.
So I don't know. If there's someone out there who works in entertainment law, let us know. Next one.
Cool. Chrono Trigger and GoldenEye.
Yeah, GoldenEye was just cool, man. Like it was the pinnacle. It was the beginning of an era, right? It was the beginning of what Call of Duty and Fortnite and Overwatch are now. Without GoldenEye, we may not be there. So yeah,
I think it's not even just that from a shooter perspective. I think it's definitely that from a multiplayer perspective.
Co-op.
4 people playing on the same screen, whether it be cooperative play or just multiplayer, split screen on a 13 or 16 inch TV, whatever small TV you had. Some people were nice enough to have the big one.
yeah.
I don't care if it was cheating. Odd job for the win.
Yeah, I think
I was that guy.
I think a developer actually came out not too recently and said it was a cheating character.
Yeah,
but Chrono Trigger, if Chrono Trigger came out in anything now, like even I would take Chrono Trigger and Octopath, like that kind of 2.5D, or Dragon Quest 11 looks phenomenal. I would take Chrono Trigger in a heartbeat.
Chrono Trigger was one of those games I missed out on. Didn't really get to play it. So it being like updated and new graphics and all that, maybe the Switch treatment where I can take it portably, that'd be a great way to jump in.
Cool. And the last one, we all voted. Knights of the Old Republic over Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, there's just no question. Like Knights of the Republic is, I think, one of. I mean, it's always tough when you talk about like top lists, right, of 50 or whatever. But I think it's in the argument of like top 50 games of all time.
I'd say top 25, honestly.
I was just rounding it out. I mean, obviously, it honestly can make an argument for top 10, right?
Yeah.
Like, but easily, there's almost no way it doesn't make everybody's top 50 list who's played it. Like that kind of game, Metal Gear doesn't hold up to that. Like no Metal Gear holds up.
Metal Gear is great, but I mean, come on, Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Would you say that's BioWare's best game?
That's a really interesting question, and
do we not have time to?
We don't have time to go really. It could be a whole topic, like what are some of the. But I digress. I think yes. I think overall it is their best game.
The first one.
The second one.
I didn't play the second one.
That's the better one.
Okay, that's good to know. That the one I like adore and love is the
the lesser
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's on Game Pass right now too. So
might be
hard to go back to though. Okay, cool. That's Fan Faith.
Cool. So Nintendo is chugging out new directs. They are coming hot and heavy this year with a slew of new content, new games. Just about a month ago, we got a huge Super Smash Brothers update, and now we have another update on a ton of content coming from Nintendo. So Joshua, I'll have you kind of run this here because I know this is kind of your baby.
I'm the Nintendo headmaster.
You are the Nintendo guy, yeah.
Garrett is second, and Johnny doesn't care.
I don't even rank, yeah.
Hey.
What's the pre-rank in like Call of Duty or any like novice or scrub or noob?
Private FNG.
So we all know we were looking forward to Nintendo's Direct probably about 2 weeks ago, and then they had the big hurricane that happened over there, so they had to push it back.
Where are they, Joshua?
I don't know.
They're in Japan. Come on.
I was not going to name drop countries, but Johnny decided to
diss in Japan, and if you say the country.
No, Japan is awesome, even though I've never been there. I want to go there. So Nintendo had quite a few announcements that they I wasn't expecting a lot of these. So the first thing they did was they opened up with a 20-second clip of Luigi opening a mansion door. We're like, oh, we already saw this in Smash Brothers.
So what I thought immediately was, oh, cool, they're confirming the GameCube Virtual Console. Here comes Luigi's Mansion. Sweet.
And then you get a logo. It's like ghostly print Luigi's Mansion 3. That's
Boom.
it.
I forgot there was a 2.
I think the most important thing here, gentlemen, though, is Luigi's alive.
Luigi's not dead.
He lives.
Well, this could be a prequel to
I
Luigi
live,
dying.
bitch.
Live on, brother.
It could be a prequel to Luigi dying. So I'm just gonna name drop kind of a quick list, and then we'll go over to like what we like. So Luigi's Mansion, New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, which we talked about wanting, in the rumor recently, which does include New Super Luigi U. Katamari Damacy is getting ported and redone. Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle, no one saw that coming. Update for Splatoon 2, Diablo 3 Eternals coming in November, Game Freak's making a new RPG, Yoshi's officially confirmed as Yoshi's Crafted World, Smash Brothers getting a Switch bundle, we got tabletop games coming, Nintendo Switch Online was announced, they added some info about Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS, and some Animal Crossing Smash Brothers crossover trailer knowledge. So let's just dive right into the second piece. New Super Mario Brothers Deluxe.
Tight and crisp, gentlemen, because there's a lot. And this could be 30 minutes. We don't got 30 minutes. So tight and crisp.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about this coming, actually officially being announced?
I think we talked about this several times, that there's a lot of gems on the Wii U that a lot of people missed out on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it would be really smart of Nintendo to buck their trend of not porting games or remastering games, and moving these games over. And they're doing that. And this is one of their better side-scrolling platformers that a lot of people missed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
I agree. 3D World needs to be next, along with Star Fox Zero.
And I mean, maybe just the whole freaking catalog of any first-party titles.
First-party Wii U games.
Wonderful 101
That's
needs
Garrett's
to
big
get
pick.
switched over. It needs to.
I see what you did there, even though you didn't try. You said it needs to get switched over.
I did it. But it does. That game is a gem.
Yeah, and I think what they're trying to do, or what I feel they're trying to do, is they're bringing out new content with third-party content, and those are even ports, but then they're doing their own stuff. So you don't want to do 80% games that we've already released and then 20% new games. I think they're trying to blend it all in together and spread them out.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of throwing it out bit by bit, because also, if they are treating this almost like it's a new game, right? Because a very low percentage of people who either played games or just like Nintendo played or even owned a Switch, right? If they release 15 at one time, they're not going to sell well.
Yep.
Because I could see it if it were something where these games dominated when they came out. Okay, well then just put them out because everyone's already played them. The people who really want them will get them again either way.
Yep.
But because there's such a small base of people who played it, you got to treat this like it's almost a new game.
Yeah, and I think this is a perfect game to play on multiple Switches, or you can do it all on one screen because it's a multiplayer game that you can play all four at the same time.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on that?
No.
Toadette's in the game, and then she can get a power-up that turns her into Peach.
I mean, why anyone would want to be Peach, I don't know, but all right.
I mean, she has this weird new floatability.
You.
A Katamari's coming to the Switch.
The first one.
I've never been a fan of Katamari, so this doesn't interest me.
I wouldn't say I've never been a fan, but I've never played them. I know it's apparently the music's great. It gets its own orchestral concerts every year, and they've made quite a few of them. So it'd be nice to play the first one.
Dating back to PS1, I think.
Two.
PS2 for sure.
Yeah.
But to have it on Switch, people that like this game, is kind of a niche category. You just roll a ball, try to make it bigger, bigger, and bigger, like a snowball, and you get points. It's got some weird stuff, but it's fun. Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle. This is not something you see every day. This is a bundle Capcom's doing on older Beat 'em Up games. Final Fight's in there. Captain Commando is in there. Knights of the Round, I didn't remember the name, but as soon as I saw the characters, I'm like, I've played that game before in an arcade. So this is a big beat 'em up bundle. There's 9 or 10 games in there, which I think is really cool because beat 'em ups are kind of a thing of the past.
Yeah, it's nice for Capcom to make this collection.
Yeah, and these type of games where you can play up to 4 players are great on Switch.
Is this exclusive to Nintendo?
I don't know.
Hasn't been said yet.
If it hasn't been said, then it probably isn't, which gives me hope to actually play this, because I would actually be interested to try this out.
I mean, you can play it on the Switch.
Yeah, but I don't want to.
Okay.
So
just easier lifestyle because you're on Xbox.
I'm on Xbox all the time.
Yeah.
Fair.
But yeah, this is a good little thing. I mean, they might even be ahead of trend, right? Like we've discussed earlier, even in this podcast. Retro genres are making a big surge. I think just because of the ease of play, but then also some of the challenges you can put into that. So bringing back some of these old school beat 'em ups might be the beginning of another retro resurge.
Yeah, let's get a beat 'em up surge going on.
And, I mean, we have Streets of Rage making a return, right? Like that. This shows me that I think we're on the brink of a retro resurge for beat 'em ups.
That would be great.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah.
Yep. So for those that like Splatoon 2, they're getting a new stage and some other cool
cosmetics.
Yeah, a lot of cool cosmetics in DLC too. So that's gonna be good.
So Diablo. I don't know if you want to go there. I don't want to go down the whole list here, but
No.
I want to skip to Diablo real quick.
No.
That was nice.
Next on the list.
He had skipped Diablo and was going to Game Freak.
No, he was saying Diablo.
Oh.
It's okay.
It's cool. Diablo.
Johnny was right.
How do you feel? Because many times now you continue.
Here we go.
You continue to rip on Bethesda. But I mean, come on.
No,
come on,
go ahead.
bro.
Go ahead. Continue.
You continue to rip on Bethesda because they keep re-releasing Skyrim, and you're like, just stop shoving the game in my face. Diablo has done this now. It came out on PC. It got ported to PS3 and Xbox 360. Then they had DLC pop up on PC. Then they rolled that DLC sold separately for PS3 and 360. Then they repackaged it as one, all of it together on PS3 360. Then they ported that bundle over to PS4 and Xbox One. Now they're bringing this to the Switch. Like, at what point is it too much? At what point do you stop doing this?
Well, slight little difference. One, I already don't count just because there's DLC that's re-releasing the game again. Sure, you re-release the game with the extra content on that system already. That's already counted for. You don't need to dock it again because it's re-releasing with added additional content.
But that's what Bethesda does. They re-release the game and now give you the season pass included for free. So why do they lose marks against you for that?
So if I may continue, there's something different about this one though. This Diablo 3 collection coming to the Switch.
I don't care. I know what you're
on
going to say.
the Nintendo Switch, you get exclusive content, and it's on the go.
Okay, when Elder Scrolls came to Switch, it also had exclusive content.
Yes, it did, and it was also portable.
Do you hold that against them?
No more than I hold anything else against them. They were already in the bad pile, so I'm not going to bring them back out to put them back in. They're already on the bad list.
Okay.
Knock it off, Bethesda.
All right.
Enough of the Skyrim.
Wow.
Cool. So
knock it off, Blizzard. Enough with Diablo. I'm not gonna let you throw Bethesda one if you don't get Blizzard one.
Right.
Blizzard one.
So moving along, I want to mention this because I'm excited for this. Game Freak is making a new RPG.
It looks like garbage.
Same creators as Pokemon. It's more like a old school Dragon Quest. The art style I could pass on, but I'm curious to see what other stuff they can do with this game.
The gameplay is what I'm passing on. This game does not interest me at all. It's a working title. It's right now just called Town. But you make friends with other townspeople that have their skills or whatever, whatever their occupation is, and you battle monsters.
I've got to say that we talked a lot of retro here. I wasn't as taken with Octopath Traveler, which is a retro RPG turn-based, as I thought I was going to be, and mainly because the story was pretty crappy. All things considered, they had 8 stories, but each story was very cookie cutter. They didn't have a lot of depth. I mean, there is some there, but it just didn't hold me. And so if they have a game like this where it's old school turn based, coming from Game Freak, who I know they're the masters of Pokemon. Yeah, I know that.
I thought we were getting a new Pokemon.
Yeah, but you've got to give me something more than just the turn based strategy RPG, because that's been done before. You can't innovate that. There's not much you can do. There's active time battle systems have been done, or the ability to switch and swap who gets to go first based on what attack you do, or you've got to give me more. And so I don't know what Game Freak could do, especially considering that Pokemon, honestly, the fighting system hasn't really progressed very far in 20 years.
No, not too much. I mean, they've added extra types. But that's the same equation, but using different variables. So instead of catching Pokemon, you're catching townspeople.
Yeah, which is why I'm actually excited to
Catching
see.
children.
Because this is just like early footage. This is just one piece. I'm curious to see if there's more to this game as they reveal more.
This feels like a $15 game to me so far. Looking at it,
I mean, you probably call it a mobile game.
I bet this will be on mobile.
Octopath also looked like a $15 game. I mean, it looked beautiful, but like it was 2.5D or whatever. I mean, we talked about it a lot, but again, just pointing out that this is Nintendo really pushing retro. Like Octopath was a retro game. They're pushing this They're the ones that announced the Capcom beat 'em up. They have this Game Freak Town coming out.
Yeah.
So they're really driving retro hard here.
Yep.
And I have no issues with that, but the game Town just doesn't appeal to me. That's all.
Fair
We shall
enough.
see. Move along. Quick ad. What do you think about Yoshi's game, Yoshi Crafted World?
I've never enjoyed the Yoshi titles. They're just too baby easy-ish games.
I'm pretty. I'm not gonna say excited for it because I haven't played any of the Woolly Worlds, but it does look enticing.
It looks
to me.
cute. It's a
And
cute game.
on the Switch.
And the reversible levels and play it backwards.
cool.
That was pretty cool.
Inverted castle.
Pretty much. Pretty much. You get to see the backdrop. Kind of reminded me of Little Big Planet in a way. Which Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn. I mean, for the kids, like Epic Yarn was like, what, a 2-hour game? At a $50 price point.
Could not tell you, but I mean, this is another addition to the Wii U library being ported over to the Switch.
Yep. Smash Brothers Ultimate Switch Bundle, which we knew was coming, but they have a sick silk screen on the dock that we're not going to be able to get separately.
Like,
Yeah.
what were you supposed to do? I already have the system. It was hard enough to get the system the first time.
I don't like the Joy-Con.
No, I'm not a big
With
fan
the
of the
Switch
Joy-Con.
logo?
I love the dock,
Yeah, the dock is beautiful.
but
Speaking of which, they announced the Pokemon Eevee and Pikachu system bundle. That looks sick. For those that like
don't the
Pokemon,
Joy-Con.
2-minute warning, gentlemen. So let's wrap it up.
cool. Well,
We're
there's that.
almost done.
We already talked about Final Fantasy, tabletop board games, how do you say it? Carcassonne?
Carcassonne?
Whatever. I don't know how to say it. Pandemic.
Wait, hold on. You can't ask me a question. I give you the answer and go, whatever. What was the name of that one burger we had, that burger joint? It was, Charlie's. Whatever, man. You can't do that. Like,
Whatever do you commenting on me saying it wrong? Carcassonne, Pandemic, Munchkin, yeah, and
There you go.
Settlers of Catan. So we get board games on Switch. I'm excited.
Waiting for Monopoly.
Whatever.
There's more on the way. Monopoly has not been confirmed, but if this does well,
Yep. Nintendo Switch Online had like an awesome trailer showcasing their Nintendo characters in 3D models, just like they always do.
1 minute.
I know. I'm keeping track. And then Luigi's Mansion on 3DS can have 2-player co-op.
and it should have been on the Switch.
You can play Green Luigi.
They
and-
honestly need to stop making 3DS games.
Yep. And they announced Isabelle from Animal Crossing is the Echo Fighter for Villager and Smash.
Yeah, I think this is great because the problem I had with Echo Fighters was that sometimes, especially with the ones that we just saw with like Richter and
Velma.
Crom,
Dark Samus.
yeah,
They look
Dark Samus,
exactly the same.
yeah, their movesets are so similar they may as well not even be different characters, just skins. Whereas now Isabelle, it's obvious she has a lot of Villager, but some very different moves to set her apart. I like that.
Yep. And then after that, we got a little teaser / trolling, I guess you would say, that Animal Crossing is coming to Switch in 2019, which is how the trailer you thought it was going to be. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, Animal Crossing. I got an
I was
invitation.
watching that, and as soon as like, oh, you got it. Here's
Here's a letter.
A letter. I'm like, she's in Smash.
Yeah, I
she's
knew
in
it.
Smash.
Cool. All right. Well, that's the Nintendo Direct there
We did
that
it.
just released. A lot of good content. Nintendo's doing big stuff. They, we thought, I think at one point that we didn't know what they were going to do. We didn't have any information going into 2018, and they're definitely chugging along and bringing stuff out. So
Yeah, and we didn't even go over everything that they announced,
Yeah.
too. But so it's a lot of good stuff.
kudos to you, Nintendo. All right, it's time for Gamer Trivia. So every week, two of our hosts go head-to-head in a best
man.
of 3 trivia contest. The winner stays and plays again next week. The loser hangs their head in shame, makes next week's trivia, has homework.
Hang 'em high.
They ain't the cool kid. So play along, see how much knowledge you have in Gamer Trivia.
I'm the cool kid.
Apparently.
Because you're hanging it way too high.
Chin's high.
Okay.
All right.
Gentlemen, there's a game that came out this past Friday. People that want to play it, be raiding tombs. So,
Okay, I'm like, we're doing Spider-Man again.
Nope, we're not doing Spider-Man. We're going to be raiding tombs in Tomb Raider trivia.
Oh, it's not Indiana Jones?
Not Indiana Jones. Not that kind of tomb raiding.
Nathan Drake.
Not that kind of tune rating.
Drake?
The Croft kind. Did you just say Drake like by himself? Like the rapper? Does he raid tunes?
Maybe.
He goes, Nathan Drake? No. Drake? All right.
Josh?
I go by Joshua. I think we've all stated that.
Drake and Josh.
Yeah, I've seen those names.
Show.
Yeah, that's old school. Okay, you guys ready? See, those are the jokes that he's talking about where they just don't fly. And that was not a pun on him doing the flying thing. That was not a pun intended on him doing the flying thing. That was not planned. I promise. Okay.
For those who are listening, Garrett and I both went and put airplane noises over our head because
the joke went right over
Joshua's head. It's
no,
fine.
I got the joke, and then you just did a joke on my joke.
All right, what do you got for trivia?
Jokeception.
Yep. So, question number 1. Ready? This is Tomb Raider. More or less old school Tomb Raider. So how did... Is it Lara, or Lara? How do you want me to say it?
You know what it is.
How did Lara...
You got it wrong.
I know, I'm doing it for you. How did Lara acquire her iconic backpack? Is it A, she looted it from a skeleton? Is it B, her father gave it to her? Is it C, she bought it herself? Or is it D, someone left it behind and she took it with her?
You have much experience with the older Tomb Raider games?
I mean, I was like 9. I don't remember.
I just played the PS1 demo, man. I just shot some tigers and died.
Yeah, it was really hard.
I've got Garrett's answer and I have Johnny's answer. So both of you have picked D. Someone left it behind and she took it with her. The correct answer is A. She actually looted it from a skeleton. And she's kept it ever since.
So she got it from someone else.
I do feel like that kind of is the same answer.
No, she stole it from a dead person, not someone left it behind.
That person that died left it behind.
Not intentionally. Semantics, gentlemen, semantics. We don't need it. Okay.
I think that counts as a point for both of us.
I'm running the trivia. I'm the host. Don't argue with the hosts. I will buzz you out. That's 0 for both of you. We're moving on to question number 2. Before Lara became a Croft, she was going to be someone else. What was her original name going to be? Is it A, Laura Smith? Is it B, Laura Cruz? Is it C, Laura James?
Well, can you say her name right, please?
Say it different every time. Or D, Laura Hoffman? Laura Smith, Laura Cruz, Laura James, Laura Hoffman.
I don't know.
We got Garrett's answer. Johnny Mac texting me his answer on his iPad. And I have your answer as well. Once again, both of you have picked the same answer, and both of you picked D.
May as well double down on the double D's.
There you go. Double dare.
Hey. PG, guys, PG. Laura Hoffman is what you put. The correct answer is B, Laura Cruz.
I was going to put that
She was going to be a Latina. But they chose not. So, the score is still tied at 0-0. Close one.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Gripping content.
Fun fact, Lara Croft in some version or form has been on more magazine covers than any other supermodel ever.
I believe that, actually.
Apparently, the number is over 1,100 times.
That's a lot. Are they counting each copy of the same magazine made?
I don't know. So it wasn't really descriptive. I don't even know if they're including like video game magazine covers.
Yeah,
they're for sure
They're
PSN.
doing every single video game. But also think about this, like, oldest franchises of all time, like, and then it'll have like 50 characters on the cover, or like, most iconic, female characters of all time. And
Top
then,
100
Yeah, so she's always going to be on there.
True.
So.
True.
And then there's people that cosplay as her on covers too. So there's that. Okay, question number 3 to get on the board.
Maybe.
One of the most iconic landmarks in the Tomb Raider games is the original Croft Manor. In the first game, how long did it take the developer to make the manor in that game?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not so tough when you're on that side, huh? Is it A, the manor was made in 1 day? Is it B, it was made over the course of the weekend, or 3 days? C, it was done in a week? Or D, it was done in 1 month?
Yep.
I have Garrett's answer and Johnny's. They just both looked at each other and nodded. I don't think they either really think it's the correct answer or they just don't care anymore. They have both picked the same answer, and it's also D. You guys are on that D train today.
You're on the D train.
That's actually an artist. I don't
Triple
mind D train.
down.
So you both picked 1 month.
Triple D.
Is how long it took to make the Croft Manor. And the correct answer is B. It took a weekend.
Well, that's your fault for making the answers that way. You know damn well we're going to pick D.
No, I didn't. And that would have been funny if I would have made all the answers D, but I didn't do that. So that is 0 for both of you. Well, it's time for the bonus question. Everyone normally knows how it works. You bet points, but no one has any points, so you can still feel free to contribute to your bet because I appreciate participation. You don't get extra points for participation, but it does sit better with me.
And if we get this question right, we gain 2 points.
Yep, so you have to... Oh, that's cute. Yeah, the little animal Sesame Street letter. That's okay. So I've got 3 questions lined up. Hopefully someone gets it right. Otherwise, we're going into overtime. Triple D overtime. So, first question. Out of all the Tomb Raider games that they've ever made, which one is the highest grossing one? Which Tomb Raider game has made the most money in overall sales?
Accounting for inflation?
I don't think so. I think it's just maybe units sold then. If I remember correctly, it's units sold, not dollar amount. So let's do units sold. Which Tomb Raider game has the most units sold?
5 minutes later.
So I have both your answers. Johnny, you said Tomb Raider 2, more specifically on the PlayStation 1, the original Tomb Raider 2, not the remake. Gary, you said the other Tomb Raider 2. You just said Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is second in the generation. You're both incorrect. The correct answer was the first reboot, Tomb Raider, in 2013.
I was going to say that, and...
Well, I figured that one did so well that the second one would have done even better. So
not
that's what I
as
was going
much.
with.
I think it was over 7 million copies.
All
like
right.
7.5.
Okay.
So that's
close.
both incorrect. You were very close. On to the next question. I guess they only get harder from here. So what is the only console to receive the original Tomb Raider game and never any other Tomb Raider after that? So there's one console. The answer is a console. It got the original Tomb Raider, but never received another Tomb Raider game after that. The original Tomb Raider was the only game that on that console's life.
A few minutes later.
Garrett, you said Nintendo 64.
Yes.
And Johnny, you said PSP. We're going old school. You're both incorrect.
Damn, I felt good about 64.
Correct answer is Sega Saturn.
Wow.
Sega Saturn only received one Tomb Raider.
I never would have...
Never knew.
Nope. That's why trivia is hard. Is it? Like I said, it's different.
I thought for
It's
sure.
different when you're on that side of the seat.
Tomb Raider.
So maybe this one will help because maybe you've been reading in some of the news. So, what is the original concept or reason behind Laura's big breasts? Like, why were they in the game? Like,
This is the question?
yep.
One frozen wasteland later.
Johnny, you said it was for sex appeal. Garrett, you said it was programming convenience.
Maybe it was
You
easier.
were real close, but the answer was it was a coding error. So dude was messing with it, and her breast got bigger by accident, and people were just like, "You should keep that in there," and it stayed.
Okay.
Right.
It was convenient for the success of the game.
I guess.
Okay. All right. What do you got next?
We're gonna have to take a short break as I figure out what the next question is going to be.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
All right, and we're back. So this is the part where we just almost give up because they should have won by now, but they didn't. So now we're down to true or false.
He's
It's just
placing it on us.
yeah, it's just true or false. You just hopefully they don't get the same answer. One of them gets it wrong, and then we just move on. Okay, so the first question: just do you want to text or do you want to just shout out loud true or false?
Text.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm asking.
Okay,
I'm giving you the
alright.
power of choice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Lara Croft's name was picked from a phone book for sounding UK friendly. True or false? I have Garrett's answer and Johnny's answer. Already it's different. So the game's going to end.
Okay, all right.
So Garrett picked true and Johnny picked false. Is Lara Croft's name picked from a phone?
That's not her name.
Is Lara Croft's name picked from a phone book because it sounded UK friendly? The answer is true.
I mean, fine.
There you go. So Garrett wins trivia. Garrett's Raiden Tunes. Champion of Raiden Tunes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tough trivia.
I don't see how that
was
could be
right.
true when you said her original name was going to be Cruz.
But then they picked a different name, and then that name was based off of a phone book.
Okay.
So, sorry.
I wish I would lose with like trivia where it was skill based. Like I actually did not know things about the character. It wasn't just pure luck.
Wag.
No, it's not WAG. I played more Tomb Raider than him. It's just these questions weren't relevant to any actual game.
I don't know. More
Tomb Raider
games or
1.
more hours?
No,
'Cause
more
I think
games.
by now I've clocked in more hours.
Tomb Raider
just
1?
based off the reboots.
I've played more of the games than you have.
Tomb Raider 1. So
I played 1. I played 2. I played the what was it? Dark something.
Dark Angel?
Yeah,
Yep.
on PS2
Or am I thinking of the show Dark Angel?
maybe.
that's
but
another one.
I,
But that's
I played,
not,
I played
it's
more
not
Tomb Raider games than you
Okay.
have.
Okay. Well, that's Tomb Raider trivia. Garrett wins. I'll see Johnny and whatever Disney trivia that Garrett does next week.
Garrett
Why
won.
would I do trivia?
Sorry.
I would.
Wait, did I say I'll see Johnny next week?
You said you'd see me next week, and then Johnny's going to do Disney trivia.
He said you're gonna do Disney trivia.
We're moving on because trivia's all jacked up now.
It's time for our video game spotlight. So every week we discuss one game, could be classic, legendary, retro, modern, popular, or niche, anything in between there. And we'll discuss the merits of the game, what we liked, what we enjoyed, what we didn't. Generally what we think about the game from several different perspectives, and just get into an open conversation about it. This week we did have, it was Joshua's week to pick, and we chose...
I actually gave my pick to someone on social media, so you can always join us on Twitter or Facebook. Look us up, Super Co-op Squad. So this one's coming from Calvin. Big fan of the show. He's
Calvin.
always giving us feedback and comments and posts and stuff, which is awesome. He's pretty much one of us.
Yeah.
He chose Shadow of the Colossus.
So Shadow of the Colossus is a game that is made by Team Ico, of course published by Sony Computer Entertainment of America. Released in 2005, October 18th, exclusively to the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. I'm sorry. It is a fan favorite game. It is one of those legendary games that have surpassed its time, even probably surpassed its gameplay. You know, these games don't always hold up that well. This game has stood the test of time as being regarded as one of the best games on the PlayStation 2. So let's chat about it. So what kind of game is Shadow of the Colossus? What genre does it fit in, if any? Let me know what the game is.
I would classify this game as a puzzle-based boss rush. Just you're going, yeah,
I like
exactly.
that. I like that.
You're fighting these massively just gigantic, Titan-esque creatures, but they're all created or made in some sort of different way. There's like a horse one, there's like a turtle one, there's a beast one with a sword. And so you have to use not only the environment around you, but you also have to use your wit. And half of the fight is figuring out how do I get on top of this creature to hit its weak spots, along with just amazing music that swells up as you're getting closer to the end of the fight. The music ramps up and it really kind of makes you feel like part of this moment of just one small guy just bringing down these gigantic creatures, these colossi.
And that's the thing, right? There was nothing really like this in its time. When you think of the engineering and how the game was made, there was no other game that was like this, that had this amount of size, scale, and scope. It's just, you're a man on a horse, you're on a mission.
Agro.
Yep, that's the name of the horse. And you have your sword. And your sword is a beacon of light to kind of guide you to where you need to go. And it's kind of messed up when you think about it. Some of these colossi, they're not bothering anybody. They're just sleeping. They're just napping. They're doing their own thing.
Many of them are sleeping and doing their own thing.
So maybe you're the bad guy?
It's actually one of those kind of games. It's not like a moral-based game where, am I doing, make the right choice, make the wrong choice. It's stems from it's a precursor to Ico, and it's weird saying like it's not exactly like a love interest. Maybe it could just be a childhood friend or something like that. But someone that you care for and loved, either romantically or platonically, has died. And to bring her back, you almost make a pact or a deal where to bring her back, you need the essence, the shadows of these Colossi. I gotta do the X-Men. And so it's not so much like I'm the good guy, doing, saving the world and fighting wrong. This is someone I care about. I know how to bring her back. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, it's almost more, storytelling by, well, how am I trying to say it? It's more storytelling, but less narration. Like there's no like real subtitles. It's not like, let me tell you the story about this person is doing this. You have the general quest. You're going on that quest, and then you do the rest. You are essentially completing the story. There's 16 different colossi that you take down in the course of this game. And there's a real sense of wonder where there's no other enemies in this entire game. It's just the colossi. I think that's what makes it so grand is it's, as you pointed out, I like the way you did it. It's boss rush. And you're just going through 16 bosses, figuring it out. How do you scale this beast and all of its movements and trajectory? So
what about this makes it stand out? We've done a few of these video game spotlights now, and there are some games that fall within certain trends or certain, genre norms that just excel, And then there are others like this or like Portal, who they're just so different than the tried and true expectations for a game, and yet this game is again regarded as top games of all time. So what works so well? What hooks you?
The music for sure. Like it pulls you into the atmosphere and the scenery, the experience really. And something that no other game has really done is, sure, in your Zelda games, you're going through a dungeon, you get your weapon or your item, that's the item you need to defeat that boss. In this game, there are no other weapons. You get your sword and you have your horse, and it's just getting onto the Colossi is the big puzzle. It's that's you figuring out how to do this fight. And it's either like maybe a geyser shoots up and you need to get on top of the geyser and jump off or something like that. And the really only way you can really kind of make these fights easier is by finding these these little lizards that are scattered across the world. They're really rare, but whenever you find one, you kill it, and it ever so slightly increases your grip meter. And that is so important because if you lose your grip while climbing and scaling a Colossus, you fall and you might not die, but you got to do the whole thing again. You'll take a lot of damage. So it's funny how the creators of this game found a way to make a boss fight that has to do with figuring out how to get to the weak spots and how to manage your grip. Yeah. So that you can not die and complete the fight.
Yeah, and all that while doing environmental storytelling and actually having to use the environment to figure out, how do I get up atop that cliff? Is there a different area that I need to go to figure out where this boss is located? Or, as you point out, like jumping on a geyser or something environmentally related to figure out whatever puzzle mechanic there is. And I think it's different because when you look at what PS2 did graphically, and it was definitely an upgrade from the PlayStation 1. This game specifically took it up a notch because most characters in games are really small. They're really focused around your camera angle, where this one, the camera pans out where you can see the scale of this boss or this Colossi. Where you look at your character, which his name is Wander.
Yeah, just Wander. Not the Wanderer.
Just Wander.
Just Wander.
I wonder sometimes. And you look up and you see this ginormous, like you don't see the sky, you just see this creature. And to think, I have to defeat that. That is what really stands out amongst any other game that really came before it. Where if you were playing a 2D game or something, you're like, oh, it's flat pixel here, flat pixel there. But this one, it's immersive. And the music really sets the tone and everything in that game. So just all that together just makes a beautiful masterpiece that people really reserve in their hearts. And it got ported to PS3, and then it got remastered on PS4.
Yeah, it's definitely deserved it.
So this is a game that doesn't have, as you stated, weapons. You have your sword, you got your horse,
Go.
and you've got 16 of these beasts to defeat. So you're putting in, 12 to 15 hours most likely to beat this game. How does that hold up? Can that hold up to gamers' expectations now if someone hopped in where you don't have any progression of skills or abilities or powers other than just the challenge of whatever colossi you happen to be encountering?
Absolutely. This game still holds up because it was so different than the normal games of its time, because it's so just separate from what you would expect from a game. It's, as you said earlier, stands the test of time. That's why it was remade. That's why it sold well again and again and again each time it comes out. It's only been 3 times, but let's keep that going. I'd like to see it on the PS5.
Right.
This game is more. This is one of those games that's more than just a game, and it honestly, and I can say this with passion, it's an experience, and that's what I love about these kind of games. That these are the kind of games that I love. Is that it's more than just I'm jumping, I'm hitting the X button to jump and pressing square to swing my sword. It's I did this. I defeated this beast.
Yeah, and you took the words right out of my mouth. It definitely is an experience, and once you figure it out, it's such a relief that you actually did it. Just like in any type of Soul series game, any boss that you're stuck on, you have to do that 16 times in this game, and just being able to learn how to master that, I think stands on its own. I do think this game holds up not only because it's different, but it's very unique, and because it's not your traditional action adventure game. It's not your traditional, it could be a traditional shooter RPG. It sets itself apart in so many different ways. I don't think that you can actually have a game like this not go unnoticed and not be different in the experience.
Okay, fair enough. So you hinted and touched on it a little bit earlier, Garrett, in regards to this game having just a very, very narrow story. I mean, it's literally girl dies, and to save girl's life, you've got to go kill 16 pretty much wondrous animals, creatures in the wild, and that's it. Go from there, and that's essentially the story.
Yeah.
But I mean, so many games nowadays, they try to have these giant open worlds, all these different side stories and side missions. And this game has, I mean, what most people will consider barely a side mission as the story. So why does that work so well?
It's hard to say because it's not a formula. It's not a A plus B equals successful game. It's tough to say. It's not. This is where I start getting wrapped up trying to compare it to other games, but it's just the way that the world is and the way that the story is told, which there are subtitles because it's speaking in a completely different language that's not, it's not reminiscent of Latin or Portuguese or anything. It's its own thing, and you just hear this ominous voice telling you, okay, go out to where the sea touches the sand or whatever like that. It kind of gives you a little riddle, and then you just, the game is about traversing and looking through this wondrous environment until you find what you need to kill to bring your loved one back. It was always funny after you kill a Colossus. There's a moment of reprieve where like the music kind of dies down. You're like, okay, I did it. Take a breath, and then all of a sudden, out of the shadow of the Colossus, these like black tendrils come and fly out, and it's always a little game of how far can you get before these black tendrils catch you. They essentially kind of kill you, and and then you just end up back in like the temple, we'll say Temple of Time, Temple of Shadow,
the midpoint.
The centerpiece. And so it's always just understood that aggro just picks up your body and just, all right, come on, Wander, let's go. And it's just moments like that kind of just make this so different and special.
Nice. So, I mean, where do they go with the series from here? Now, I know that we've had one kind of, I don't want to call it a sequel, but one sequel, there's no other word for it, come out. And even that wasn't necessarily the same type of game. But where do they go from here with this series, if possible?
Are you talking Last Guardian?
Last Guardian, correct.
Okay. So the way that this has kind of worked is that I really don't even think they're connected or in the same world. It's all just kind of like an anthology. Each game is its own, with the slight connection between Shadow of the Colossus and Ico. But that's it. That's its own separate story. They don't go anywhere else. It's kind of like when you're watching a show and you really like it, Johnny, you specifically, when you really like it, when they wrap it up, it's done. That the story was told, we're not going any further with it. That's Shadow of the Colossus.
And you feel there's nothing else they can do or should do with it going forward?
I feel there's nothing else they should do with it. And honestly, I think that being its kind of masterpiece, the masterpiece it is, don't touch it. You're done. You guys did it. You did a stupendous job. Bring it back. You know, every generation or so, bring it back so more people can experience it. But don't touch the story.
Don't ruin it.
You guys did it.
Okay.
You know, wipe your pans and you're done.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think we all agree in that aspect where anytime a game and a project is like finished, you're like, this was awesome. Like, don't mess it up. Don't F it up. And I'm along the side with Garrett. I don't think it needs to be, repositioned or, added onto it. I think it's great as it is. And I don't think you can really do any more to it. Even if you have, you can call it a spiritual successor. You can call it a multiverse. You can call it whatever with Eco and then Last Guardian. I just think it took 12 years for Last Guardian to come out after being pushed and pushed. Yeah, like
okay.
I don't think they need to do anything else with this. I think that team, if they're going to work on something, I think they should come up with another new idea. Last Guardian was a great new idea, but it was a new idea that spread over 12 years.
Right.
And just, pushbacks, and we have different ideas. We want to change it. Like, don't do that with a game that you want to make similar to Shadow of the Colossus.
Right.
I think you just leave it as it is. Bring it out for a new generation to play every 2 consoles or something, and then let's see what else you got in the books.
Cool. What could have been done better? This is a game that's touted again as one of the best, near perfect, but what could have been a little bit better?
Not putting the Easter egg after beating the game X amount, was it 4 or 5 times in that waterfall or whatever it is?
I forget exactly.
Doesn't it get harder after each time you do New Game Plus?
I believe it does.
Yeah.
I've only done it the one time, and that's good enough for me, so I could not tell you. Maybe sprinkle more story in. Let me know more about the world that I'm in. Not necessarily side missions or, specifically cutscenes or dialogue, but maybe when I'm out exploring the world, I find a temple or something like that, a cave, and then there's cave paintings or something like that, or just something to kind of immerse me into this world more. I think would be nice to let me know where I am.
Yeah, or maybe just a random NPC you run into, or a little shafted town of 2 people.
You ruined it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I can't give an answer to that. I don't really have anything else they could have added or did better.
Okay, cool. All right, well, that's our thoughts, our video game spotlight on Shadow of the Colossus. Let us know what you thought in the comments below, or feel free to reach out to us on Twitter at Super Co-op Squad, or by email, contact@scspodcast.net, and let us know what you thought of Shadow of the Colossus, as well as give us some ideas, some possibilities for next week's video game spotlight.
Agro.
All right, guys, it's time for the speed run. So every week we break down 7 news stories or fun facts that didn't make it for a full segment. We give ourselves 1 minute per topic before we move on to the next one, finished or not. Gotta go fast
I got nothing.
in the speed run.
Damn.
94 episodes, you run out of ideas sometimes.
Bethesda's Pete Hines says there will definitely be a Wolfenstein 3 in the future, and Dishonored is hinted to not be in hibernation. Well, I mean, both of these things I think were fairly obvious there, Pete. Yeah, like the success that Wolfenstein has had in its resurgence, and the fact that Dishonored just continues to have a little bit of a niche following, but a strong following with great reviews. it was going to get another game.
I don't care about either of these franchises. So, good job.
That's fair. I'm
He
not
said it though.
I'm not a big Wolfenstein fan, but I do like Dishonored a lot. I really enjoy what they did with that. It's a fun series, a fun game.
Have you played the new deals?
Next. The cult horror game Alan Wake is going to become a TV show.
No.
Yep.
Did you guys play Alan Wake?
I did.
Did you?
No.
It was a mostly fun game. I mean, I think it got a little old at the end. I mean, there's only so much you can do.
With a flashlight. And an
Yeah,
author.
I mean, they have other light sources that you can get, and you know they played around with it a lot. But light is your ally, and darkness is not. So I mean, there's only so much you can do with that, you know. And I don't know how they would utilize that in a TV show unless everything's happening in one night. Because once it hits daytime, and if I survive, I'm leaving. Like,
Done.
Yeah, I'm going home. I'm not gonna be there.
Maybe it'll be like 24, and each episode's an hour out of the day.
Yeah, the
Or
main
the
character
night, I guess.
never sleeps.
That sounds like DLC right there.
Possible.
Next.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. Assassin's Creed Odyssey's DLC has been revealed, and season pass holders will get Assassin's Creed 3 remastered.
Wasn't this already given out for free before on at least Xbox One side?
Maybe on
So
games with gold.
It was
but-
given out with games with gold, it's still just a 360 portion. So this is the remastered one of a crap game. So there you go.
I wouldn't say Assassin's Creed 3 is crap, but it definitely wasn't
It is better than Revelations. I'll give it that.
It wasn't one of their best games, that's for sure.
Yeah, the way I look at it, I always look for a remaster versus remake. Because remaster is just you're beefing up some graphics, you're giving it a little bit of polish, versus remake is kind of like round up. Like Spyro's a remake, Crash was a remake.
So you look for more remastered than remakes? You like remasters more?
I like remakes because
Okay.
you're taking the same thing, but you're adding a lot to it rather than just a skin polish.
Next.
The soon-to-be-released Venom film officially has a PG-13 rating and will have a runtime of 1 hour and 52 minutes.
That's fine. I feel PG-13 is proper for a Venom film.
I can agree, but I mean, he's a pretty... Without Spider-Man in the film, I feel like they could have went for that M rating. He's an anti-hero villain, not like Deadpool, but like he's a bad person. Like he's not good.
I get that, definitely, but I don't know. When I think Venom, of course he has the ability, and he has, like in comics, rip people apart, eating them and all that, but I don't think that needs to be like his defining characteristic of, hey, I'm Venom, I eat people.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think if it's a PG-13 film.
Next. Sorry, bro.
Again?
With nothing but a screenshot to tease us, Yugi is the next character announced for Namco Bandai's Jump Force.
I was very surprised by this. Just because, Shonen Jump has got everything under the hood when it comes to manga and anime, but, like, I want to see what they're going to do with this character. Like, everyone's like, throw cards. Mirror Force, everything, go Goku.
I mean, how are they going to have Yugi? How are they going to have Light Yagami from Death Note? Like,
Well, from what I hear, Light actually is not a playable character. He's literally just for the story. Ryuk, on the other hand, maybe.
yeah,
But Ryuk can obviously do more than Light.
right.
Maybe he'll just do like in season 4 where you just pick your monster and you just summon them and they're just actually real.
I feel
Season
like
3 or whatever it was.
we're not going to see Yugi. We're going to see Yami Yugi.
No, I think this one is actually Yugi.
Maybe in the intro cutscene where he goes, "It's time to do it," and then your game crashes. Next.
Stop cheating.
Sorry.
It's in plain sight. You're like waving it at him.
No, he finished his sentence and he was not supposed to, and he knew it.
Oh, then just hide the timer. Just go back to the watch.
But his time was done and he knew it. The point was how he cheated. Even if I would have pointed at him, he would have still done that to say his.
The train was already going. I'm sorry.
You just gotta stop.
That's okay. It's my turn now. DC has announced a new Martian Manhunter comic that will release later this December. DC aims to retell the origin story, and bring his detective roots back to the forefront.
Well, that's a long time coming for one to go back to those sort of roots for the Martian Manhunter.
I didn't even know he was a detective.
Neither did I. So this
Yeah.
is where your comic expertise comes into play.
Yeah, and it's been, I don't know, at least 5, 6, maybe 7 years since he's had his own comic, or even been
Yeah.
featured in DC.
Yeah.
Um,
He was in Injustice.
He was in Injustice. The last comic I can remember him in, it was the Stormwatch, which is like, super. It's like Guardians of Earth essentially. Like, but yeah, it's been a while.
So it was back in the New 52.
Mm-hmm.
So is he more like Batman detective or
no, like Gumshoe detective?
Okay,
like as his alter ego.
Next,
I'll play by the rules. Batman Ninja will be available to view on Netflix starting October 26th. That's good because I haven't watched this yet.
I mean, if
neither have I.
If you've got nothing, like absolutely nothing else to do,
Take a
then
nap.
go. Yeah, go to sleep. Go get some food.
Not bad, huh?
Take a crap
You didn't like
because you'll get the same exact thing with this.
You didn't like it?
I did not like it.
it? Clearly.
There definitely has been either things have gotten worse for the DC animated films, or they're just not for me anymore. Like maybe I just outgrew it. Yeah, well maybe they decided to. I'm not their audience anymore. I'm not their target.
I don't think that's it because you can still go back and watch the old stuff.
Yeah, because those were for me, so I get it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but look at like we talk about Thundercats Go, and it's just or Thundercats Roar. Like it's not for us anymore. But like, is the appeal gone?
And
All right, well that's our speed run for the week, guys. Cheating our asses off.
Not me.
That was my bad. It was one time.
I got interrupted every time to call
Couple
me a
times.
cheater.
All right, it's time for Name the Game. 3 games, 2 hosts, and clues that lead to the correct answers. Use your wits, master clues, name the game.
First try. All right.
I lost last week, so I'm making the name the games. So it's on me. Here we go. Good luck, gentlemen.
Can I win one? Can I win one?
Please don't let him.
Maybe.
Just because he begged for it. Showed no
I
mercy.
will try my best.
That's begging.
Sweep the leg.
Yes, the leg. Sweep it.
Here we go. Game 1. A third-person shooter on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
Very cut and dry. Mercenaries.
No.
2. That's 1 out of how many thousand?
I can't even think of third-person shooters that were on both. Let's go with. Okay, follow me here. Stalin. Pass.
Use guns and swords to hack through
Devil May
enemies. No.
Really?
Yeah, I guess that's not a shooter.
Use guns and swords to hack through enemies? It's not right, but I need more time. I'm going to say Bayonetta.
No. A rare female protagonist in days where they were few and far between.
Wet.
That's correct. It is Wet. One of my cult classics. All right, that's 1 for Garrett.
You know what? X-Blaze came to my mind right away.
X-Blades, man.
Such a not so great game.
All right, I'll take a page out of your guys' book just this one time because I can't ever use Wet again. So my next clue was going to be this game takes many of its visual and character cues from Kill Bill, which I would have hoped you guys would have gotten from there. It looks like.
No, it does. I'm not saying your clue was inaccurate. I wouldn't have got it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, unless you like knew the game like that.
Grindhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, number 2. The original was good.
Sonic.
No, but great guess.
These clues. I don't know. Spider-Man.
No. And the second one was even better.
Mass
Star Wars
Effect.
KOTOR.
No, but great guess.
I said Mass Effect.
No, but great guess.
BioWare.
The third took a while.
Kingdom Hearts 3. I guess Kingdom Hearts.
No,
Okay.
good guess though.
First was good, the second was better, the third took a while. So I guess we're naming the franchise?
Yeah.
In general, the franchise, yeah.
Pass.
And was hated.
Dead Space.
No, but great guess. You guys are on them.
If we're on the same path, I'm gonna say Lost Planet.
No, but
Damn it.
great guesses, guys.
Lost Planet 1's a fantastic game. I want to read
The 4th came out.
Where's the rest of the clue?
That's it. The fourth game came out.
Okay.
So now you know there are
He's
4
doing it
games.
like
The fifth clue is part of
He's doing
the
like a
end of that
sentence at a
sentence.
time. We just keep adding games.
Batman Arkham.
No. Interesting guess though.
Come on. First one was good. Second one was great. Third one, eh. And the fourth one came out.
Okay, I see your friend. That was good, but no.
Okay. Marvel vs. Capcom.
No, but great guess. And was hated more than ever.
I guess that's a continuation.
Star Wars Battlefront.
That's correct. That's exactly what happened. The first one was good. Battlefront 2 was the best. 3 came out, took a long time. People hated it. They made another one, and people hated that one more. That's exactly what happened.
I would say that's misleading because you say the third one
Took a long time. It was like 10 years, Joshua. 10 years is not a long time.
Alright, what part exactly is misleading?
Yeah, please tell me what part's misleading. Okay.
Because I mean, if I can get it,
I
Could've
think
been
that's
too
perfectly
misleading.
fair.
Was
All right. Well, Joshua's fighting for his skunk life here, not trying to get skunked. Just 2 for Garrett.
I know how to shower. It's okay.
All right. Question. Game 3. If you're a fan of fighting games, you probably tried this game and hated it.
PlayStation Battle All Stars.
No.
Damn.
I was gonna say if you pick these easy, okay. So I probably have not played this game. I'm going to say, what is that game called? Fighter's Destiny.
No. But great.
You know what
guess.
game that is?
Yeah. Great guess,
No
sir.
clue.
N64.
Heroes clashed in this truly shitty fighting game.
I think I know it.
I don't. Whatever Japanese.
Do we do repeat on?
This has not been
Clues.
repeated, but you can guess a repeat.
No, on clues.
Oh yeah.
The first one.
If you're a fan of fighting games, you probably tried this game and hated it.
Okay. Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe.
No, but great guess.
Damn.
But do you count any of those as heroes though?
Batman.
Yeah,
Superman,
Batman,
Green
Superman, Green
Lantern,
Lantern.
Wonder
Oh,
Woman,
yeah.
Flash.
All I'm thinking is Mortal Kombat in that game. My bad. Gosh, I have an idea, but I don't remember what it's called. Pass.
Before Injustice made their game perfect,
I would have said the same game.
He still like lead on clues. What the heck?
That was he gave it. I'll give you a shot.
That's not the game.
so mean.
So he doesn't get skunked.
Thanks.
I could just skunk you right now. I'm
Pity.
trying.
I pity the fool.
Go ahead. Gary.
Sometimes you just give me a hint. Give me a better hint.
You want me to give you?
Just go ahead.
Okay. This might give it to him though.
Okay, all right.
Resident Evil isn't the only series to have a nemesis. Garrett knows what it is.
I mean, there was just Marvel vs. Capcom 3 that had Nemesis in it.
Nope, that's not it.
There's a Resident Evil fighting game?
No, there wasn't.
There was a fighting game that had a Nemesis in it?
There was a game.
Hmm.
I believe. Let me now. I don't want to mess up on the title here. Nemesis: Rise of the Imperfects.
I'll accept that. It's Marvel Nemesis.
Marvel fighting game?
Rise of the Imperfects. Yep.
I remember the cover. Never played it.
Really crappy game.
Never
It
played
is. I wish I could not have played it. It's not great at all.
I never played it either.
I envy both of you. It was a waste of time to put that in my
That's a deep
PS2.
cut.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
a deep cut.
All right.
So that's a 3-0 skunk for Garrett there. So nice job, buddy.
I feel good when I have to use my noodle.
Yeah. I didn't throw any softballs in there. So you guys had to work for all those, or Garrett had to work for all those.
Y'all be working next week. Better get them shovels out.
All right.
I'm gonna bury you. Bury yourself.
The salt. All right, guys, it is time.
You gonna let me do it this time?
I am.
Okay, cool. Just
For
want
us
to
to talk about what's going on what we're playing, what we're doing outside of the podcast, as well as give each other
Superpowers.
stupid superpowers
Did it.
for better or worse for 1 week.
Feel good. See, I feel better. I feel included.
Yeah.
Cleansed.
Yes.
I'm
After
still
that skunk.
I'm still playing Dead Cells, trying to beat
Really?
that game. I'm almost done trying. I get great things and I make one little dumb error or someone like distracts me or something and like I die.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Is it all in the palace
Usually it's in the palace. Yeah.
or the clock tower? Sometimes
No,
they get
usually
sometimes they get messed up in the clock tower.
Usually it's the palace. But I'm liking that game. I will be playing Spider-Man as soon as Joshua's finished with his copy. I will borrow it, burn through that bad boy. I'm excited to
Don't
play
burn it. I paid for it.
I'm excited to play it and enjoy it. And that's about it in a nutshell in regards to what I'm playing right now. I'm really just waiting for Fallout 76 to drop. I really want to play that game very badly, as well as Red Dead Redemption 2. So I'm just kind of biding my time, and Spider-Man is taking me 20, 30 hours, and I'm going to try to blow through it real quick, not even waste time with side stuff if I can help it. I know that trading value might dip pretty quick,
Yeah.
so I'll try to be fast. That is all I got for my gaming session last week or so.
Cool.
You guys want to play rock paper scissors to see who gets my next power?
No.
Yeah, give it Joshua.
Joshua, you get my power.
That's fine. I mean, I'm not dishing them, so
It'll be better than mine, probably. I haven't even thought of one yet. So
that's dangerous water. Sorry.
yeah,
Johnny.
that way, give it to Joshua since he got skunked.
Well,
Maybe he has a chance at a good power.
skunk
And unfortunately,
cleaner.
you'll have to take one for the team. But
I will admit that your powers have gotten better since we started this.
that's a damn shame.
What do you mean? The powers you give have gotten a little better.
Yeah, I know. That's okay.
That's a shame.
Well, it's a shame because I didn't think I was. If that's the best I can do,
Come on.
and
Bag of holding.
I thought I was
All right,
on.
so Joshua, here's your
Sorry, we're
here's
going
your super power.
Okay.
So you have the ability to heal other people of anything, and when you do use your power in this way, it gives you one additional year at the age of 25. So essentially, like you let's say if you use this power, every time you heal someone, they get healed, and you get one more year in the peak of your prime. It could happen. You could be 25 for 10 years. You can do what every woman who's 40 wants to do, and they keep saying they're 30 and they're 30 for 10 years. You would get that. It would actually happen.
Can I regress in age? Because I'm not 25 right now.
So, but your body would just be in the peak of 25. Like you would still be your same age. You catch my meaning?
Yeah, but if I'm 33 now, if I was in better shape when I was 25, am I in 25?
Yes, you're
shape?
in 25-year-old shape.
Okay.
but still 33.
You're still
Okay.
33. But after 1 year, if you don't use your healing powers again, then your body just becomes whatever age you actually are.
Okay.
So he's basically Black Adam.
Okay, yeah, in a lot of ways. Now, the only way you heal people, though, is you have to get them to eat a fingernail from you. Like, eat one of your fingernails. But the trick is, you can't tell them why. So you have to get them to do it, but you can't coerce them. You can try and coerce, but you can't tell them that it would heal them of anything. You can't tell them the power itself. Anything else is fair game. You can shove it down their throat. You can force feed it to them. You can pay them money, but you can't tell them that it would heal them.
Do them like puppies and chop them up and put it in their food?
What? Chop up the puppies?
No.
It has to be
Garrett.
a whole nail.
Don't be a dick.
If you break it off and or chop it into pieces or grind it, doesn't work. You can put it in their food, but it has to be a whole finger or toenail.
Just drop it in like their coffee or something like that. They'll never know.
I think I would know if there was a fingernail in my coffee.
Not if it was a dark drink, just blocking it with the ice.
I would.
Or any other hot beverage that you also
Coffee.
enjoy.
Yeah.
So that's your superpower, sir.
You just keep adding on like stuff. It's kind of.
I thought that was a pretty witty power, personally.
Not until it's like you can't chop up your fingernails. They have to eat it whole. Like,
I thought you were going for like an All Might thing. But I'm like, oh, why didn't you just give him a hair, but a fingernail? Okay.
all right. So my week, Spider-Man has taken a little bit of a back seat because I wanted to play a different game that was
Uh-huh.
going to take a shorter amount of time.
What game is that?
It was a game where you explore chasms
Okay.
and caves called Chasm.
Okay.
Picked it up less than a week. I finished it in less than a week. So about almost just under 11-hour runtime for me, like 98% completed the map. Got most of the power-ups. It was a fun game. I actually really enjoyed it. It was challenging in certain moments. I was playing it on hard, which was the hardest difficulty. But then there's 2 more after that. So I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to trophy hunt this time around. But definitely recommend it. We definitely talked about the retro resurgence and Castlevania. It's definitely a Castlevania-like game over a Metroid game. A lot of themes from Castlevania. Really enjoyed it. So I'm going to jump back in Spider-Man because there's nothing else that I'm really going to play at the moment that I can think of. Cool. And then I went and saw Predator yesterday, or 2 days ago, with my brother.
Okay, I can also tag along with this because I saw Predator as well.
I wasn't expecting much going into this movie. I liked it. I give it a hard 7. Definitely had its plot holes, as most of these resurgence action movies do, but it was fun. It definitely had its... It tried to do some callbacks. It does the main one terribly.
I just had one problem. I can't in good conscience watch this film. I can't.
Yeah,
You might know why I can't really watch this movie.
Keegan-Michael Peele.
No, not Keegan.
You really have that much of a problem with Olivia?
Olivia freaking Munn's in this movie.
Why?
I don't like her. She's a
hot.
hack. She's a hack. She's not an actress. Like, she's not good.
She's not bad.
Yes, she is.
Just because you didn't like her in Psylocke.
I've never liked her. I haven't liked her back on her days.
Attack of the Show?
Yes. I haven't liked her since then.
Come on, you're just a hater now.
Yeah.
If you didn't like her on Attack of the Show, you're just a hater.
That's what I'm saying.
I can't not like somebody.
If you're holding her debut against her
It's not her debut. I didn't like her then. I don't like her now. That's all. That's all there is to it.
But you're saying you're not going to watch the movie because she's in it.
It was a joke. I will probably watch the movie. But
I didn't take it as a joke. You did. Dead serious.
You could tell I was joking.
Yeah,
right? Thank you.
I got you.
Thank you, sir.
I didn't.
But
I didn't know your disdain for Olivia Munn was so strong.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't really care to watch this movie. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
T-Mobile Tuesday has it for $4. It's worth $4.
I have 2 kids that are under 2 years old.
Babysitter.
My 1-month-old baby can't survive more than 2 hours without mommy's milk.
Then you go solo.
Go tell Vivi I'm gonna go watch a movie by myself. See how that.
No, you're not. Okay, I'm gonna take Johnny to the movies next time. We'll see what she says. Think she'll say
You're
no?
gonna take me?
If they got another offer, yeah, let's go. She gonna say no?
So I give the movie probably like a 6.
I was waiting for you just to give an answer. I knew what the answer was gonna be.
I was not. It does a weird thing. Predator movies, you're like, okay, there's gonna be some action. Where there's gonna be just 80s action and stuff. But this movie definitely is taking on more of a comic spin, and that's weird to me. Watching a Predator movie and then there's cracking jokes and it's a funny movie with, it's not slapstick, so it's not like Predator slipping on a banana peel or anything like that. But it's just like
They try to mix comedy with more core.
Yeah,
it doesn't really work.
Although there was one joke I did really like.
Which one?
So they go to a government facility and you gotta do your let me check their ID cards and everything, and the security guard's like, okay, Olivia Munn's in this scene. She checks out, and so then it's like, okay, ma'am, go ahead and step forward, and then the room starts. It turns out the room was an elevator, and they're singing down to secret government thing. So the operator guy who's sitting at the desk is like, is it just your imagination? Or are the walls stretching? There's a complete haunted mansion thing, and like that gets me.
And the guy was like, "Really, dude? Every time?"
That was funny. Just the haunted mansion thing. But yeah, weird movie, and then it does a thing where it's like, oh, setting you up for the next stuff, next evolution thing.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird thing that they did at the end of the movie.
I don't like always getting into stuff in the superpowers, and I try to but I gotta say, it must be one of the saddest things as like a director to put in like a little like, hey, cliffhanger for the next movie, to try and get the studio to make another next movie, and they're like, Bob, like we told you, we're not making another one.
No, man, we're just your story's done.
Yeah, we're not funding you again. We told you this before the movie came out, and I warned you not to put that in there, and you did anyway. I just look like a fucking idiot. Like
now everyone's gonna wonder what happened, but they're not gonna get the answer because we're not funding you. So
then we're gonna
take that to Paramount.
The movie's gonna get rebooted again.
So who you hurting here, Bob? Like me or you? It's your legacy on Mario.
It was
Come on, man. Like,
it was a hardcore lead into another movie.
Yeah, we'll see how that does.
Yeah, but one thing I did like real quick that just to top this off is they did kind of add in the old Predator like sound and theme in there when their like helicopters are going and they're transitioning. I was like, oh, that's an old theme. That's awesome. Cool. So that's my week. So, Garrett.
Hi.
Yeah, Kirby. Okay, I got you. So, all right. There's your superpower. Any type of food you inhale, or eat, I should say, or inhale, you grow some part of ability from what you eat. So if you say you eat a burger, burgers are from what animal?
Cows.
You have unlimited
They go
milk.
moo.
You have unlimited milk supply. You can just formulate milk.
Huh.
You eat a hot dog.
What
hot
do you-
dog-
All right.
What are you
Where the
milking?
hell does a hot dog come from?
A hot
Yeah,
dog's
where's
just-
the milk coming from?
I ain't answering that question. I don't know.
Get down with
So
a bucket.
they-
and work-
people say that hot dogs are made of horses' hooves. So if that's true, then all of a sudden you have the speed of a horse.
Get
Eat a hot dog. You
One
can be a
more
pona.
thing.
get down and with a bucket and work that udder, buddy.
Oh, man, I just go to them. I'll buy them. It's fine. I'll buy it.
No, save money, man.
No.
You're living in a rough economy.
cold.
Yeah, gallons. Put it in the fridge.
Need it cold? No.
The milk wasn't cold when it was made.
I mean, you don't have to worry about butter again. You churn your own butter. Like,
Churn, baby, churn.
Thank you for Power Joshua.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What happens if I eat spaghetti?
Where does spaghetti come from? The ground?
Italy.
your
You have an Italian accent.
your dick becomes a noodle.
Oh, can it be meat? Meatballs?
You didn't say spaghetti and meatballs. You just said spaghetti.
True. All right. My week, Spider-Man. Playing that pretty decently in 67% or something like that. Gave myself a double feature yesterday. I'm loving this new A-list thing when there's movies to watch. They ran a special or something like that where they brought in Smokey and the Bandit in the theaters. I've never seen it before.
Oh,
So I'm like, oh, okay, Burt Reynolds, he passed away. I'll check this out. Pretty good movie.
yeah, it's good.
When you posted that, I thought you were watching it on Netflix. I didn't realize you were watching it in a theater.
Nah, when I posted it, I put I might as well watch it on the big screen.
Oh, I just thought you meant big screen TV. I didn't look to see where you were or where your tag was.
No,
Yeah.
so I checked out in theaters, and when I went in there was one guy. I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's a 70s movie. I'm not expecting a big turnout. And then all of a sudden, it was a pretty good turnout for Smoking the Bandit. It was half full. But
Well,
for a movie theater,
Yeah, that says something,
Yeah.
especially for a movie that old. I mean, Burt Reynolds was a star in the 80s and the 70s, and
Yeah.
and the thing about him is, well, first of all, Smokey is a great movie.
Yeah.
It is a good movie. Real funny. But the thing about him is that he had the opportunity to be in a lot of roles. And I was reading some excerpts from his like biography or autobiography, just about how he felt about Hollywood and what he chose and what he regretted in his career. And it's already known again that he had options to be in like The Shining, and
Yeah.
and he turned it down. And Jack Nicholson's like biggest 3 or 4 roles, he had the option to take and passed on it. He could have been Han Solo. He had first rights for that. He passed on it.
Yep, I knew that.
There were tons of huge projects that he did assign himself to. And his idea when he was, a star was he wanted to have fun. And so he only picked roles that he enjoyed. He only picked roles with people he wanted to make movies with. And he just had a kick-ass time in Hollywood making movies.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. And so, like, even in his own book, he said, like, you know what? Like, I think I had more fun doing it than anyone ever did it. But I regret that I could have, when I wanted to do more serious roles, when I wanted to do more with my career, the chance had passed me by because I never gave myself that opportunity when I was younger. So no one gave me a chance later on.
Yeah, there's that. But I mean, he did it.
Oh yeah, he was great.
Did it.
He was great. But
Yeah.
I mean, it is sad to think that like a lot of our biggest movies could have been very different.
Yeah,
So
yeah. That's a topic for a whole nother time. I don't want to go into it too much, but yeah, there's more to say about that.
sure.
I loved in like the first 5 minutes, he laughs and I'm like, that's Charlie. That's Charlie's laugh.
Did you not know it was Burt Reynolds?
No, I totally knew it was Burt
Okay.
Reynolds, but it's just like when I hear that laugh, I'm not like, oh, it's Burt Reynolds. I'm like, oh, it's Charlie. So it was just nice. It was the same cadence or anything like that. But yeah, so that was fun. Watched Smoking the Bandit. Right after that was when I watched Predator. Talked about that. We can move on. Something I really do want to recommend that I spent the rest of my weekend doing is a new show on Netflix. And from the one of the creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender, Aaron Ehas, I can't pronounce his last name. He has a new show on Netflix called The Dragon Prince. That is a really good show, actually. The animation's a little different, and it's compelling. It's based off of a story of, as most things are, as Johnny will let me know. So it was nice to know that there's only 9 episodes for this season, and I'm like, okay, all right, that was good. Let me start, following Twitter, so I can keep tabs on it and all that, Reddit, and then like, okay, one person on Reddit posted, okay, so that was the first book, and we got 6 more books to go. I'm like, yeah, 6 more books. So excited about that. Just waiting for Netflix to give him the okay so they can start making more.
I mean, they definitely will at this point. I mean, we already know Netflix is making 700 shows and movies per year, and they're going to make more.
Yeah.
This will keep going.
Good.
Yeah.
Castlevania can get a 3rd season before the 2nd season is out. I'm sure they can get another
Dragon
book
Prince.
out for this one.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like the Castlevania series is like 4 episodes a season.
Yeah,
very true.
This was only 9 episodes, but they were all good. And it has one of those things like you watch an episode and then it ends and you're like, no, more. What happens? What happens with that guy? And it'll play in the next episode, but I want to know now.
Right.
I don't want to wait another 20 minutes. So it did that for a couple episodes. And then, of course, the end of the season is like, okay, I want more. A lot of cool characters in there. I really enjoyed it. So Dragon Prince, if you have the time, look it up. Very enjoyable.
Nice.
So that's my week.
And what's my power?
Johnny, your power. You have the power. Now, whenever you see an infomercial, regular old ad, pop-up ad, or anything like that, you just get the item. You just get it. Yeah, you can just pull it from whatever computer screen, TV. You own it now.
Oh, man.
But the drawback to that is now you get pop-ups in real life, like in your eyeballs. You can't turn those off. If it's 30 seconds, you got to watch all 30 seconds. No skipping.
So so if I pull, let's say I pull Alexis out of the TV, I got a new car. At random points out there, I'll just have Alexis ad pop up or any ads.
Any ad. It's not always correlating to what you grabbed. It's just here's an ad.
Well, does that exponentially get worse? Like if I pull more things out, do I see more ads? Or if I just use it one time, am I stuck with that number of ads no matter what? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I hear you.
Johnny's always trying to make it deep, and I'm just like, yo, bro, I just gave you a power.
All right, so I already said that if you take an item out of the pop-up or out of the commercial or whatever, you get more that you can't turn off. If you pull from any of those ads or any of those commercials, you get more that you can't turn off.
Dang.
So I will excel. You can. There's like a cooldown period. If you take nothing for like a day, then it'll reset.
Okay. There's some good in there.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I felt like after a certain point, I take 10 things and I'm just watching ads. Like
For the rest of your life.
My life is just
Close your eyes and they're still playing.
That's how you eat now. I'm real hungry, but that McDonald's commercial hasn't come on yet.
How are you gonna pull Alexis out? You don't have to.
It's a superpower, man. I don't know.
Yeah, the problem is what you can do with Alexis after you pull it like in your house.
Well, I mean, I can watch it on my iPad outside.
Yeah,
I can watch TV outside.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Okay, that's a cool little power.
Baby, what do you want to drive today? I got you, babe. I got you. Give me 20 minutes.
Dinner on me.
Cool. All right, well, that's our show, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. We always have a good time, and hopefully you're appreciating the new setup. Again, we're tweaking things, making things a little bit better as we learn this YouTube thing and begin kind of ironing out some of the kinks here. Before we head out of here, we would just ask for you to help us in one of several ways if you have a chance. First and foremost, like and subscribe to our show here. If you're listening through audio, subscribe and leave us a review or a couple of stars, whatever you want to do. Those kind of things help our show continue to grow, help other people who like what we're listening to or what you're watching find us. We would really appreciate that. Next thing, of course, tell somebody, but ask somebody. Tell somebody about the show. If you enjoy it, odds are someone in your life at work or at school or whatever that might enjoy this, get a couple laughs, maybe get some knowledge, and just have a good time with us. So let people know. Word of mouth is the best way to help us out here. And then lastly, chat with us. Reach us on Twitter at Super Co-op Squad. Reach us on Facebook. You can talk to us via email, contact@scspodcast.net. Any of those ways that we love to, or in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube. We'd love to just chat with you guys and start a conversation. That's always fun for you and fun for us. And if you want to chat with us individually, you can find me at JohnnyMac24.
You can find me at GJL3275.
Yeah, you can tweet me at Eternal Red Gamer.
All right, until next week, I'm Johnny Mac.
I'm Garrett.
I'm Joshua.
Agro.